is Ariel, your driver. How are you doing today, guys?
Good, how are you?
By the way, welcome. Cayman Island is composed of 3 islands. The Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and the Little Cayman. So the main island is the Grand Cayman, which you are here right now. And it has an area of 76 square miles and approximately 22 miles long. And it has a highest point above sea level of about 72 feet. And the capital town is Georgetown. So you are here at Georgetown. This is the financial center, the Georgetown. And if you see on your far right, that is the Turtle Bay building. That is your for your shopping, for your souvenir T-shirts and gift shop. And beside of the Turtle Bay building, far right as well, is the Diamond International for your jewelries, diamonds for the women there. That's their precious stones. And if you look back there, we have there also the Bayshore Mall. That's also for our shopping center for jewelries and signature watch.
Question. Are you still affiliated with Great Britain?
Yeah, we are still affiliated, and we will go on to that. But yes, we are affiliated with Great Britain, and actually our governor is appointed by the king every 4 years. But we have our own government system, or we are self-governing island or country, right? So we have legislative assembly members that is composed of 19 members, and 2 of them are appointed by the governor to be his deputy governor and attorney general. All right, so here, if you still have time, guys. Just a walking distance from the Water Terminal. We have there the Sandbar restaurants, and they are serving local food to say as well. And approaching shortly, we have here a small beach here on your left side, guys. So just a walking distance from the port terminal or the water terminal. And at your right side is the Cayman Craft Market. So they have their displayed handicraft, man-made handicraft, yes, it's a souvenirs. We have there also their left the fish market. So they have displayed displayed market or fish market every morning.
Come on down. How are you doing today? Please don't let it happen. Come on down. You're on island time. 2 persons to a bench now. Just sit beside someone you know or someone you want to get to know. How are we doing today?
You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Alright, so I would like to welcome you guys on board. The name of your submarine is called the Nautilus. My name is Brandon, and I'm your tour guide for today. So before we start, I would like to go through a quick safety briefing. So on this submarine, we have 2 emergency fire. The life jackets are upstairs underneath the white seats at the front of the boat, and the boat crew. The Nautilus is a semi-submarine. What does this mean? She is always half in and half out of the water. Each of your windows are magnified up to 25%. So this means that objects will appear closer than they are, and they are really thick windows. And you guys are allowed to take all your pictures and videos. Just remember, switch your flash off your camera, because the flash will bounce off the window and turn your picture as a blank negative. So switch it up, guys. And last thing before you start, If anyone is going to be thirsty later on during the tour, there is a water cooler available for you on board. The water is cold, it's fresh, and it's free, so make the most of it, as it's one of the only thing you'll find free on this island, as you might have figured out already. And there is a bin behind the cooler, so if you guys have any garbage, please stick it into the bin behind the water cooler, okay? So that is it, so we're going to start today. So the tour is about between 45 minutes to an hour, so we should see lots of stuff today. Guys, on the left side of the submarine, we are going to see a shipwreck. The captain is going to turn around, the shipwreck is going to be on the right side, okay? So here comes the shipwreck. This shipwreck is called the Kiali. She was a cargo ship. She sunk 50 yards away from the shore. She sunk here in 1948, and she was 175 feet long and 25 feet wide. The Kiali left Cuba one day, coming to Cayman with the cargo. But then the captain came on a bad day, the day turned into a storm. And during the storm, one of the diesel engines that was on the ship fell clear and punctured the hull of the ship, and that's when the water starts to flood. And eventually, when the captain came to the Cayman Islands, the water starts to reach to the cargo, and the cargo had the 9 tons of rice at that time. And you guys all know what happens to rice when rice gets wet. Not a good idea. The rice expands. So the 9 tons of rice grew so big, it split the ship into pieces, and the ship sunk in 15 feet of water at 50 yards from the shore. And that's the engine, the big diesel engine. There was 2 big engines on the ship, and that's one of them. The good news is no one didn't die. The captain and the crew swam back to the shore, and there was a bar at the shore, so they drank and got drunk, and they had a story to tell afterwards. So scuba diving. Anyone can go scuba diving on this shipwreck because it's 5 minutes away from the shore. You can swim to it in 5 minutes, and snorkeling as well. Okay, and we're coming up to the corals now, left side and right side. You guys are going to see lots of fish. Those are called brain corals because they all look like brains. They are also called the reef building coral, as they make the base of most of our Caribbean islands. They're very important. Did you guys also know corals are not rocks, they are living animals? So corals can never be touched or stepped on because they can be damaged very easily. They'll take a long time to grow. And if you touch it, you might get a slice or burning sensation. It's not a pleasant feeling. So you have to be careful in these waters when we're swimming. And this is a depth of 20 feet deep. The temperature of the water is about 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're coming up to the winter time, so it's going to drop to 71, 72 degrees. Yeah, that's the coldest we ever got. It's chilly. So keep your eyes open for stingrays on the sand. The sand is a good spot to find them. Stingrays are very flat, they're gray, and they have a long tail. So you can't miss them. They're very easy to spot. They love to glide on the sand. So look around, you might see a stingray anywhere. And there's corals on the left that looks like a plant. We call those sea feathers, and sea fans and sea ferns. That is called a soft coral. There is some yellow and black fish on the left side. Their stripes, they're called sergeant majors because it has 5 stripes on the body, as a British Army officer. Yeah. And there's some blue fish on the right. They're tiny. They are called blue chromis. They're eating the algae on the corals. We're crossing this area. That's as stingrays as well. No stingrays in sight as yet, but keep looking. And you guys will see caves and crevices as well. And by the way, on the right side below your window, if you look below, that is called a steel cage that's buried under the sand. The purpose of the steel cage is to help grow the corals. Corals spawn twice a year on the steel cage, just like when flowers bloom. So don't ask me how, I don't know how they do it, that's a scientific thing. So they're helping the ecosystem. And if you see all these fish in the reef, they are helping to balance the growth of algae on the corals. So they're trying to eat the algae. The water depth is going to drop to a maximum depth of 30 feet deep. There's a beautiful blue fish on the right. It's very bright blue. It's turquoise. That's called a parrotfish. So take a picture of the parrotfish. There's some schools of fish on the right again. Those are called Bermuda chubs. And here comes a depth of 30 feet. It's a big drop off. So the name of this site is called the Arizona Desert. As you guys can see, this is a stingray's favorite site to come to. The reason why they come here, they are looking for garden eels on the sand. And that's a black worm that you might see on the sand. They're black and they look like a string out of the sand. So that's the stingray's favorite food. Alright, so coming to the left side of the submarine is the biggest shipwreck on the island, and this one is called the Balboa. Remember, eventually we're going to see the first one again on the right side, and this one will be on the right side as well. She was 225 feet long and 30 feet wide. She sunk here in 1932 because of the biggest hurricane in the Caribbean. The name of this hurricane was called the Big Tur, and this hurricane killed 109 people on the island. And our island is very flat, so we don't have any mountains or rivers here. No mountains. So if there's water was to wash upon the island, it will destroy the whole island. And during the hurricane, when the Balboa sank, she split all the cargo off. It was a complete cargo of wood at that time. When the eye of the hurricane was overhead, the captain and the crew could make their way back to the shore, walking on the floating woods. But you guys might not believe this story, but it is the only one we know, as there are no witness when this happened. And the shipwreck was also in one piece when she sunk, but right now she's a wreck of a wreck. How did this happen? Because she sunk in the middle of the main shipping lane. So when you guys came off your cruise ship on that white boat called the Tenders, this is where you have to pass by to go to the port. So this shipwreck was blocking the way. It was blocking all the cargo ships to pass by. So back then on the island, they didn't add anything to lift the shipwreck out of the water. So he wrote 50 on a piece of paper, and then he left the paper on his desk for someone to pick it up. But somebody else went into the office when the governor was not there and wrote an extra 0 on the paper. So guys, that is 500 pounds of dynamite by mistake. So you guys can imagine, the dynamite blew the ship 30 feet into the air, and then it slammed in pieces all over the seafloor. They had one job, and he messed it up. Typical government, right? Yeah. So, and you guys also saw a white church in town, across from the port. The name of the church is called the Elmsley Memorial United Church. The wood that came off the ship, it built that church in town. So it is one of the oldest buildings on the island. Yeah. Alright, so here comes the shipwreck on the right side, guys, finally. So those are the sergeant majors on the right that I mentioned earlier. Those yellow and black fish in stripes. They're the most common fish in the reef. So you'll see them everywhere. And they love to travel in groups. And these are all the soft corals again. They are sea ferns, the sea fans, sea feathers. And this is what the smaller fish likes to eat on the sand. And here comes the pieces of iron on the right. And can you guys hear me at the back of the submarine? Can you guys hear me on the mic? Because the engine is loud. Okay, thank you. And sometimes we find octopus on the shipwreck. Sometimes when they want shelter, they come here for the shelter, and they blend in really well to hide away from predators. And sometimes you have sharks sleeping here too. Yeah, so very interesting stuff to see. But I don't see anything for now. I think they left. They'll be back soon. What do you guys see? Stingray? Stingray on the left. Stingray on the left side. Your first stingray. I don't see it. You guys sure? You saw a stingray? Okay, alright. I 50% believe you. You see a whale? I don't believe that now. We don't have any whales on the island. 10 times worse. I don't know. I don't believe in mermaids. And maybe you guys would like to know. So as you guys can see, our sand is very different. It is white, very beautiful in color. So where is this lovely white sand coming from? So did you guys know that our sand is actually made by a fish? And we call this fish the parrotfish. So forgive my English. I'm trying to say parrot like the bird. So the parrotfish gets its name because of its teeth. It is fused together like a beak. The second reason is because of its colors. It is blue, red, and yellow in color like a parrot. And You're going to see them soon. And how does the parrotfish makes the white sand? So what they like to do, they love the algae. So they feed on the algae that's on the corals. So when they feed on the algae, they bite the art structure of the coral at the same time. And what is going inside the parrotfish is going to come out. And what is coming out, guys, that you see is our lovely white powder sand. It feels really soft when you touch the sand. One parrotfish alone is not bigger than my arm, and that fish alone can produce 850 pounds of sand per year. And that's close to a weight of a baby grand piano. So if you guys are laying down in the beach in the Caribbean and you cover from head to toes, now you guys know what you're covered in. That's parrotfish poop all over you. So that's the scientific reason why sand sticks to your feet. I'm sorry, that's poop. So I think some of you guys may already know already, but our sand is made by the fish. But the parrotfish is also bad for the coral because they're always biting the coral with your beak. So some people kill them to balance their population. But sometimes they overmake the sand. So, but apparently they taste good, so I never tried it. Alright, we're now leaving the desert now, guys. We're going to go to my favorite reef. We're going back to the shipwreck. The first one on the right side for you. So in these waters, I learn something new every day as well. I have seen stuff that I've never seen before. I have seen an hammerhead shark out here before. I was randomly swimming one day. I looked under and I saw a hammerhead. It was on the sand looking for stingrays to eat because they love stingrays. That hammerheads can grow up to 20 feet long and their head is shaped like a hammer. And I saw a manta ray out here before. So the manta ray has the biggest brain of any cold-blooded fish in the reef, and they look like a stingray. He came to the shore, he turned around, and then he went back into the sea. So I took a picture for a few seconds before he left. So that was an experience for me. Yeah. And here comes the shipwreck again. So we're coming up to the engine. That rope that's where we tie our boats. So every time we tie our boats, we have to use rope and anchors and chains just so the rope doesn't escape. This is the engine. There's corals growing on the engine, and the rest of the shipwreck looks like train tracks.
Is that steel down there?
Yes. Alright, we're going to turn around and we're going to head to my favorite site. We're 50 yards away from the shore, because remember, this shipwreck sunk 50 yards away. We're going to turn around and go to the next site, and that site. So you might see them flying past the windows, and barracudas are skinny. What do you see? What do you guys see? Tell me. This is a huge fish. Where? Oh, he's under the submarine. So maybe that was a barracuda. Was it a long, skinny fish?
No.
It was a big one. Okay, that was most likely a shark, but was it like a gray color?
It was like iridescent.
Bluish, right? Okay, so that was a parrotfish that makes a sound. Yeah, but it went under the submarine, of all places. Alright, so I think we're here. So welcome to Cheeseburger Reef. It's a famous snorkeling reef on the island. The reason why it's called Cheeseburger Reef, not because it looks like a giant hamburger, it is because we have a Burger King sitting on the shore. And that Burger King was the first fast food restaurant built on the island. So when they built the Burger King in 1984, the local people didn't like the burgers because that was the first time tasting fast food. So they decided to throw the burgers into the water for all the fish to eat it. Because the sea is right by the Burger King. But it's not allowed anymore because Cheeseburger Reef is a national park. But the burgers are still horrible, guys. Don't try fast food here. Yeah, it's dry. Okay, so this is where we have plenty of parrotfish. So there's male and female. The female is red with white spots on the body. The male is blue, red, and yellow. So the male appears to have a better looking color than the female. So you want to keep your eyes open for those two. And you might see one any second because they're plentiful around here. We're going to come closer to the coral to give you guys a better view. Alright, coming your way on the left is some huge schools of dories. Finding dory below the window. Those are called blue tanks, and what they're doing, they're eating the algae on the corals. Yeah. We call them doctor fish in the Caribbean. Windows are magnifying glass. We're not going to hit the corals.
It's pretty close.
Alright, so in the next 2 minutes, we are going to put the submarine to a full stop for a few minutes. So we're going to come to the next area where you guys will see lots of corals and lots of fish in the background. So you guys can just look out there and see and take your picture. And during that stop, we might see more of the entertainment coming into the windows. So this is what I like to show before we head back to the shore. So this is my last card that I would like to pull. So it's going to come to the left side first and then the right side. So we're almost there. They should be expecting us. So we'll let you know when we're here. Groups of dories again on the right. Schools of dories traveling together. Alright, so I am going to head upstairs for 5 minutes and I'll be back with you guys shortly. You'll see what happens next. Here we go.
Oh, here they come again. Yeah. No, you know what we're doing. You're fine. Yeah.
I think he's going to chum the water, see if some sharks can get over here.
So just give us a minute. We're going to throw a dead body in the water to feed them. So they should expect it soon. So here they are. They're gathering together, and here comes the captain. So the captain has jumped into the water, and his name is Dennis. I call him the ugly merman. He's going to come to every single window in clear, close view, so you can all look at all the friends close to him. So what he's going to do.
Almost. Those doors might come to the windows to eat the algae.
Submarine. So then they'll come up to the fish feed and try to get one of these guys in the group. So that's their advantage, yeah. To follow the fish in the group, yeah. But the captain, he always takes a knife in case anything happens. The barracudas can be frustrating at times, yeah. But smile and wave.
Oh, that's a scuba diver.
Yeah. Just imagine he has to jump in this water 6 times a day, feeding all these guys. Yeah. Alright, we're off. Bye fishies, see you tomorrow.
Hi, fishies.
So did you guys know, so when the merman was in the water feeding all the fish, at the back of the submarine was a direction to your cruise ship. So that's the direction to the deep waters. So where your cruise ship anchors at the front is between 80 to 100 feet deep, because you have to maintain a far distance from the corals, because there's corals, there's sand, there's all your cruise ship anchors. Behind the cruise ship is 6,700 feet deep, and that is called the Cayman Trench. It is the deepest part of the Caribbean Sea. And when you're leaving Cayman today on your cruise ship, you're going to a maximum depth of 25,000 feet deep out there. That's 7,000 meters, 5 miles deep. That's the maximum depth of the Cayman Trench. So Cayman is like sitting on top of a mountain, drops off really deep. So we are a little island. We're 22 miles long and 8 miles wide, and we're surrounded by deep blue waters. So if you live here, you have to learn how to swim. Yeah. So we're literally surrounded by water. Yeah. How many people live on the island? It's 70,000 people. Yeah. So they're trying to fit 100,000 people soon, but that's not great because we already have lots of traffic problems because we're such a small island. Yeah. Yeah. So I think 25% of the population are Caymanians. The rest are expats because this is a tax-free country. We don't pay any taxes here, so lots of people come here to work and store their money. And Cayman Islands is very expensive as well. We're fueled by tourism and banking. It is the top 3 most expensive country in the world. Yeah, you have Monaco, Switzerland. I think Cayman Islands is in the top 3. Yeah. And gas is like $10 a gallon. Not kidding. Yep.
I'd be riding a bike.
Yeah. Lots of people they ride electric bikes on the island. Yeah. So, yep. But it's a beautiful island. It has its ups and downs, but it's a beautiful island. And you guys can also see that the corals are not very colorful. So this is a big problem as well. So this happens because of a number of reasons. Number 1 is the pollution of the water. The temperature of the water can affect the corals when it's very hot. And reason number 2, we have an invasive fish in these waters. It doesn't belong here, and they put a lot of stress on the coral reefs. And that fish is called a lionfish. They're overpopulated in the reef. Very dangerous. The lionfish eat the herbivores, and the herbivores eat the algae of the coral reefs, keep the corals healthy. So when the lionfish eat the herbivores, this is what it looks like. Algae growth goes in check, and that can be detrimental to the coral reefs. So every time if we're diving, we have to kill a lionfish to help to balance your population, to help the corals. So guys, fortunately, we're going to be coming back to the shore. We're almost 50 yards away from completing the tour, so we're back in the shallow water. Because I was going to explain more to you guys, but I can't. We're back to the shore in a few minutes. So I would like to take this moment to thank you guys on board. I really do hope you guys all enjoy this tour, and maybe also that you've learned something new. And if you guys want to show any sign of appreciation, this means to me and the captain, there is a tip jar on top of the water cooler. Tips are not mandatory, but you always would appreciate the guys. Or if you guys have any complaints, just write them on a $50 bill and I'll read them later, okay? No problem. You guys can write us a good review on your cruise ship website. The name of the tour is called the Nautilus Undersea Tour. My name is Brandon, the captain is Dennis. If you write us a good review, we get free pizza at the end of the day, guys. Cheese pizza. So give us a good review if you like. So stay in your seat until we're completely dark. I am going to head upstairs and I will come back and let you know when you're free to go, guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys.